Yo guys, welcome back to another episode of Anime Review. This episode I've been putting off for too long now, and that is Season 3, Episode 11, and we're covering Mob Psycho 100, Season 2. So, I did the first season a little while back. I think that was one of the episodes, and may have been a Season 2 episode, I think. I don't think I did it this season. I'm not sure, actually. It may have been earlier this season. Not 100% sure. But we're out here doing Season 2. I watched this not quite a while ago, but it's been a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks since I've watched it, and I didn't cover it right away. So, yeah, that's what we're doing today. And, yeah, I'm just going to hop right into this. Before we do begin, guys, I highly recommend you watch the first season of Mob Psycho 100 before watching this video, if you haven't already, because we're going to be getting into some spoiler stuff that has to do with not only the second season, but I'm probably going to be comparing the first and the second seasons, meaning there's going to be spoiler stuff for the first season as well. So, yeah, be sure to go watch the first season of the show and the second season of the show if you haven't already before watching this, because there is going to be spoiler stuff. But if you guys want, you can also check out my review I did, like I said, in Season 3, Episode 4 of the first season. So, yeah, I also did that. If you guys want to check that out before watching this video, that's completely fine as well. But yeah, I'm just reminding everybody that, you know, these videos are spoiler reviews. So, yeah, make sure you guys check those out before you watch this video. Yeah, but with this video, the goal is to try and, you know, bring some new stuff to the table, because my first video I did on the series was just sort of my initial thoughts going into the series, not knowing anything about it. But now with the second season, I kind of knew what to expect, and I'm gonna not dwell on more general things, more just stuff more specific to this season, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm gonna get started. I just wanted to throw out that disclaimer sort of at the beginning there. Alright, so starting off this season, coming off of everything that happened in the first season, you know, we had everything with the what were they called? It's been a minute since I watched the show, but the psychic organization that was hunting down natural psychics and, like, basically brainwashing them into making a psychic army. Yeah, they are back at it later on in the season. But yeah, in the first season, they destroyed that whole place, rescued the other psychics, the Espers, and also we find out that Mob, his brother, also has psychic abilities. So everybody, you know, now, in the beginning of the first season, you know, we thought only Mob really had psychic abilities, but now, obviously, we know that a bunch of characters have psychic abilities. But Reagan and Mob are back at it, you know, they're doing their job, exorcising spirits and whatnot. And the show, to be honest with you guys, the second season is very funny. It's funny in the exact same way that the first season was. It's kind of hard to explain exactly the humor. It's just sort of dumb humor, but, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's executed so well, the jokes and stuff. I really liked the first season and thought it was very funny, but the second season was just as funny. Maybe even more so. I liked what happened. There was one episode where they had to fight this spirit called the Dragger, and then there was this one guy who was like a flasher, and they were trying to hunt him down. It was really funny. I really enjoyed that. And, you know, just everything that's happening, the art style, it's just very charming and just funny overall. But one thing with the series that I do like is it's funny and charming, and the art style just seems kind of pleasant, but it can get very serious when it needs to be. Like when crap goes down and we need to, like, all right, it's game time, One of my favorite, little, like, few episodes was when Mob and Reagan had to exorcise this little girl who she had, like, a spirit inside of her, and she was possessed, and her dad was, like, super rich, so he hired a bunch of different psychics to try and exorcise this spirit from her. And, Reagan comes and he's like, I can do this. But little did he know that the spirit possessing her was one of the most powerful psychics. I think his name was Mogami. Yeah, that's right. Mogami. And then he died, but he would, like, consume other spirits or something. So when he became a spirit himself, he was, like, one of the most powerful spirits out there. And he does this whole fight with Mob. He wipes out, like, all of the other psychics. It's a really cool fight. He also, like, traps Mob within his own mind in, like, this alternate universe. That whole part was, like, kind of dark and, like, depressing and, like, sort of deep. But, like, it goes back and forth, there's, like, the funny parts. But like I said before, it gets really serious when it needs to be. And especially when Mob, he uses his 100%, or even when it's like the question mark percent, it's about to go down. Like, when you see the 99% and then it beeps, man, I love this, like, how, it can go from such playful and charming, like, just stuff happening to, like, really dope battles with, like, high stakes, tense battles. It's really cool, very well done. Like I said, the Esper fights in this season are really good because the foes, I think, are more powerful than in the first season, because they had to fight the Claw members in the first season, and now here in the second season, they're good guys, because they're all working with Mob, and also his brother's name I can't remember, but yeah, they're all working with them to take down, like, the main headquarters of, like, the main, like, sect, I guess, like, the inner circle of the Foundation. Because if you guys remember, in the first season, all of those dudes, the enemies are there, that was just like a branch of I forget the Foundation's name, but it was just a branch. And so they're trying to strike it at its core. And we met the one kid with red hair. He has some sort of psychic ability that I can't sort of remember. But his dad is the leader, and so he's, like, rebelling against his dad, because his dad is gonna, like, try and basically either destroy or take over the world with psychics, and he doesn't want that. So yeah, he is, like, getting everybody to take down his dad, but he needs, like, powerful psychics. That's why he's got Mob and Mob's brother. So yeah, also, like, what I meant to say before, though, about the Esper fights, is that there's way more powerful fights or way more powerful enemies than just the Claw members. There was one character, I'm terrible with names and remembering things, like specific things, but he kind of reminded me, he kind of looked like the prince that Greed possesses in Full Metal Alchemist. He kind of looked like that guy, like he's got the closed eyes and he's, like, I don't know, he kind of just reminded me of that character, just design, but he can, like, teleport and stuff. That dude was crazy powerful, like, they barely defeated him. Also, the redhead kid's dad, and also, like I said before, Mogami was insane. There's just so many more powerful opponents in this season, and there's just so much destruction. It is just crazy. A little bit unrelated, but one of my personal favorite episode, or a few episodes, other than, like, the Mogami part, because that was great. I loved that. But Another one of my favorites is when Reagan and Mob split. I'm gonna fix my lighting. There we go. When Reagan and Mob split. So yeah, we know that Mob has been working for Reagan, and Reagan just kind of calls him in whenever. And Mob starts making more friends now, and he starts wanting to do other things. And Reagan's like, just calls him in, whatever, out of the blue. And it's like, I need you to come in. And then Mob's like, well, I'm, doing other stuff. I have friends. And Reagan's just sort of like, what do you mean? You don't have any friends? You work with me. I'm your friend. Come on, let's go do this. And so Mob kind of gets agitated with that, and he just stops showing up to work. He just wants to go do the stuff that a normal teenager does, a normal 8th grader, I think he is. So, or as they call it in the show, or I guess it's just how they do it in Japan, they call them third years. So, yeah, being like third year of middle school, so 8th graders. Yeah, that whole part, and then afterwards, after Mob kind of leaves, Reagan has to reassess his whole business, and he kind of reflects on himself. I'm like, why am I even, doing this business? How did I even get started? Because after that, he starts getting more people to come in. He starts upgrading his business. More people, he gets more business, and he's getting richer, and he goes on live TV where he's exposed as a fraud, and everybody hates him. He's getting slandered everywhere, and he just starts reflecting on his life. That whole part I thought was really cool. Or not really cool, but like, that was some of the most like grabbing moments in the entire show. That's some of the stuff that kind of got me in this season. I thought that was really interesting because, as we saw in the first season, Reagan just sort of relies on Mob to do everything for him. And we just saw how, over time when Mob was gone, how he reacted and how he was able to continue going, but also how he needs Mob, and he realizes that what he had said and stuff was wrong. That whole stuff, I really enjoyed that part. Those were some really solid episodes, and yeah, I think the animation was also great. I love, especially during the high stakes fights and stuff. And at the end there, during that massive battle, when there was the massive explosion during the finale, just everything that happened, it just was so well done. I can't remember exactly what I rated the first season during my first review, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that this second season, I'm gonna rate it higher, but I think that this one was about the same as the first season in terms of goodness, maybe slightly better, because I've heard so many people when they talk about Mob Psycho 100, they say the second season was so much more good, it was so much better. But to be honest, they were about the same, and that's not to say that it wasn't good, because it was very freaking good. But I think that when people say the second season was just so much better, it's like, calm down a little, because they were about the same, in my opinion. I don't know. But I would say I can definitely see when people say that it is better than the first season. Only slightly, though. Again, I don't remember what I rated the first season, but I'm gonna give this a 9.3 out of 10. Mob Psycho 100 is very good, and I would highly recommend it to anyone. It's a great starter anime, I would say. It's just so funny, and there's a lot of great fights during this season, and yeah, as a series, it's just very good. But yeah, guys, that's gonna about do it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. I had a blast watching this show, and like I had stated before, I highly recommend this to anybody. It's funny, it's got everything. Action. Just go watch Mob Psycho 100, because I think that it's pretty great. So, yeah, guys, thank you guys for checking out the video, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one, because we should be having, a manga review tomorrow, and then I think on Friday is the manga haul, and we got videos coming this weekend too, so yeah, stay tuned for that. So yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Peace.